Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another incredible episode of Life of a Boss, the podcast. I am your host, Jason Hardin, and I am grateful to be here, not just on the show, but to be alive another day and soaking up all this wonderful oxygen, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people ain't here, you know what I'm saying? And much love to them and their families, but man, you are here if you are listening to this, and that means you can change for the better, you can improve, you can do anything you ever wanted to do, you can achieve whatever you wanted to achieve, you can still be what you want to be. If there's life and breath in you, there is hope. You know what I'm saying? But it starts with you, and that's what this show is all about. Helping you create and live your own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and above all else, personal development, y'all. It's all about personal development, and it's all about self. And one of the most important things you can do is today's topic, and that is protect your mental health. Protect your mental health. And not just protect it, but get mentally healthy. You know what I'm saying? Practice mental health. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant practice. It's not something you do every now and then. You know what I'm saying? It's like self-care. You don't perform self-care when you're in a crisis or right after something stressful happens. You perform self-care constantly on a daily basis, on a minute-by-minute basis. Me, I practice so much self-care, like you can only interrupt my self-care. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't start or stop it at a certain time. Like I'm always self-caring. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you have to be. You have to protect your mental health, just like performing self-care all the time. All the time. And I just want to make this a quick episode because I don't want to lose you, because like I said, I want you to practice this, not listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you guys 5 ways that I personally protect my mental health. And one is, first thing I do is I separate what I can control from what I can't control. That seems to be like one of the practices that eliminates half of the things that I'm stressed out about, worried about, anxious about. Is just simply identifying what I can control and what I can't control. Because once I can identify them, I can totally disregard what I can't control. I can totally leave that back, not even in my thought process. That's not even in the plan. You know what I'm saying? So we can totally disregard what we can't control. We can totally omit it we can delete it damn near from our storage space in our brains, because it doesn't help us. Worrying about it, being anxious about what we can't control does not help us. And if it doesn't do a service, we gotta let it go. So the first thing I do is I separate what I can control from what I can't control. And everything I can't control, I can address that. I'll just focus. Instead of having my energy all spread out, I gain 50% of my energy back into what I can control. Putting all of that attention and effort and work and time just in the things that I can control. Whether it be my weight, whether it be my attitude, whether it be how I see things, whether it be my eating, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that I can change, I can focus 100% on that if I'm not worried about what I can't control. Second, I talk to somebody. Now, I don't know about you, but I talk to very few people. There are very few people in my life that I will open up to. You know, I think I'm an open book. Send me some mail. Send me some mail, call in, whatever you got to do. Send me some information, a question or whatever, and I will answer it. I'm not afraid to answer questions. Unless in a court of law, I don't know. Unless to the police. You know, they always twist your words around. Don't talk to the police. Don't answer questions when it comes to the police, man. Let them do their job. Anyway, like I said, that's just me. But that's another way I protect my mental health, man. I keep my distance from certain things that inhibit my mental health. You know what I'm saying? I set healthy boundaries. We're just going to jump to that. I set healthy boundaries. You have to learn how to set healthy boundaries. If you can't set healthy boundaries, then you'll always have your mental health jeopardized by someone else, by someone else's will, basically. Someone else wants you to be upset, they're going to make you upset because they're going to get within your personal space, whether that be mental space, whether that be physical space, you know what I'm saying, whether that be time. You know, they're going to get within a space where they can actually get to you and irritate you and affect your core. See, we have a crust. You know what I'm saying? Our boundaries are like the crust. And who we are is our core, you know, like the earth, you know, we're the core. And it doesn't matter what goes through on what happens on the surface too much, you know, it gets hit by asteroids, you know what I'm saying? It rains, it pours, it gets volcanoes, all that stuff. But the core is rarely affected. You know, they talk about the ozone, they talk about the water, but the core, you know, they don't say nothing about the Earth's core. Why? Because ain't no problem with it. You know, it's doing what it does. You know, whether it's making volcanoes or not, man, it's doing whatever it wants to. And that's how unaffected you have to be by some of these negative influences or just influences, period. Some of them can be not negative, but not positive, just something that just distracts you. Some of these things can just be distractions. You know, it doesn't have to wear and tear on your mental health, but sometimes distractions can do that too over time. You know, and I hate being distracted. You know, so I set very healthy boundaries. I limit who can be in my personal space. I limit who I talk to on the phone. You got a better chance of reaching me if you call me from an unknown number or a random number than if I have your number already in my phone, because I already know what most of the people that call me want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the type to answer the phone to everybody. Why? I have that boundary set. Just because someone called doesn't mean they have the right or the immediate access to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I in the right headspace? How am I going to come off? Sometimes I'm not fit for company. Sometimes I don't need to be talked to. You know, not because I'll snap, but because I might not make the best decision in what I'll say, how I'll say it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I set healthy boundaries. Another one, I utilize resources. That's what, number 3? Yeah, number 4. I utilize resources. Meaning, I'll call some numbers, you know? And it's funny because I think it's easier to tell someone I don't know about some of my issues than telling people I do know. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the person I don't know is qualified and has degrees on mental health and certificates or something, then versus somebody who's just there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what some of your jobs are, but anything but a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like someone that works customer service. You know, they might be a great friend, but they might not be qualified to diagnose you. I'm not going to say they're not qualified to help you or they're not qualified to listen or anything else, because they are. You know, we're all qualified to listen and help somebody just by listening to them. But we're not all qualified to diagnose. See what the difference is? And when you want that person that can diagnose, that can tell you what's wrong with you, not just listen, not be supportive, not just take your side and nod their head and say, all right, now let's go hang out, or let's go do something fun, or let's go get a drink, or whatever y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But somebody that can say, you know what? I think that's a case of this. And I think you need this, and I think whatever this and that may be. But like I said, sometimes you just want to take your problems to a professional. So it's always good to utilize those resources, whether they be free resources, whether they be low cost to no cost, whatever resources, whether they be some that you can pay for. You know what I'm saying? Some expensive ones, some good doctors and good counselors and good therapists. There's some out there that'll charge $100, $200, $300 an hour to listen. And they're worth every penny for those that have it, because I'll tell you, it helps. It helps. Another thing, do something creative. Do something creative, because that's one thing that always protects my mental health and keeps me in a good place mentally. It's prevention. It's all of that. It's when I'm being creative. When I'm enjoying myself while I'm doing something constructive or creative, is that's my euphoria. You know what I'm saying? That's my happy place. When I'm in the zone, there's no healthier mind state I can be in other than in the zone. And that's when I'm doing everything. I'm talking about when it comes to chess, when it comes to checkers, when it comes to golf, when it comes to podcasts. It's like when I'm in the zone, I can't be touched. I'm undefeated in the zone. You know what I'm saying? So that comes from being creative, man. You can only find your zone being creative. Like Jordan was out there being creative. He was in his zone. Couldn't nobody touch him in his zone. Kobe, LeBron, when they're in their zone, can't nobody touch them. Why? Because they're creating. They're creating reality around them in real time. They're making the greatest moment happen in real time, and that's how you have to be. That's the whole point of doing what you love. They say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, and I can't tell you that is no more truer saying than anything else. Seriously, be creative. And lastly, I ain't even been keeping track. I might have gave you 6. I ain't even keeping track, but the last one I got for you is get out. And really that means get outside. And really that means get in touch with nature. You know what I'm saying? Go hiking. Hiking is a good one for me, man. I loved hiking. When I was at my lowest point mentally, when I had legal troubles, I had political troubles, I had personal troubles, all going on at the same time, and I was at my lowest point. I was going hiking a lot. I went with my stepsister, and we would hike a lot. We would go to places that had waterfalls. And one thing you realize when you're hiking and out there, and especially if you don't have any service, it's like nothing matters. The only thing you can't be more in the moment than when you're hiking, because there's nothing else around. There's nothing you can do about anything else. Can't nobody reach you, and you're just trying not to slip or fall to your death. You know what I'm saying? Not to step near a rattlesnake or something, or you have to watch every step of what you're doing, and you have to be in the moment, and that's so important. You know what I'm saying? That getting in touch with nature, being in the moment, and having to really tune in and be present, and you really understand what's important now. And that's what I think. That's what really, just talking to y'all just makes me think like that's really what's important, is what's important now. If it's not important right at this moment, at your present, you know what I'm saying? And it all aligns to your future. But if you always take care of your present and always make sure that your present is going to be okay, then your future is going to be great. But you got to be present and in the moment and taking care of what you can right now. It takes us back to the first one. Control what you can and forget about what you can't. Anyway, man, that's my time. I love y'all, man. And I wish y'all the best mental health in the world. Get help if you need it, and get help if you already got it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's a constant practice. Keeping and protecting good mental health is a constant practice. Do not stop. Always do use self-care. It's constant. Anyway, I love y'all, man. Go to the website, lifeofabus.net. Check out Made in Dina. This show is brought to you by Made in Dina. Go to madeindina.com and by Hardware Enterprise, man. Check us out. However, man, music is by producers Steve Sneed and Michael Town Sounds, man. Anyway, man, check out all those guys, man. Check out everybody that you see on the show. Go to their other contests. Go to their websites, man. Follow them, man. We got some great guests coming up in the future. And the future really means in like a week or so. So it ain't like the future. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, keep tuning in, man. Every Monday, every Thursday, we got something new for you. I love y'all. And remember, success is a lifestyle. Peace.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason, as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hardin. Thank you. And to never forget that success is a lifestyle.